Still on the road. Decided to make a second video today. If you like this video, please press the like button, subscribe, share, comment. Appreciate all the dialogue, appreciate all the comments. Just concentrate on the audio today. I got nothing showing you on video. So, I keep hearing Glocks are the best gun. Buy a Glock. They don't jam, which is not the correct word. The proper terminology would be either a stoppage or a malfunction. But I just put the word jam in my title because a lot of people who are into firearms think that it's called a jam. Anyhow, I hear it all the time. Chiefs of police, owners of security companies are into buying Glocks because they don't jam. They're perfect. They're great. They're affordable. Never have a problem. They're reliable. I'm here to disrupt all the Glock fanboys. Every once in a while, I've been proven wrong. So far, I'm in charge of my employer's armory. We just got a whole catch of Glock 47s and Glock 45s and Glock 19s. We did a low light course not too long ago. Check me out on my Instagram under the Firearms Trainer. I post videos every once in a while. And every single Glock that I looked at, it didn't have one malfunction, and you're talking about like probably thousands of rounds were fired during the course of that week during qualifications. Not one malfunction. So today, an officer came to me and said, "Hey, Sean, this Glock 19 MOS, I put 100 rounds through it, and every single time I would have a malfunction. It looked like it may have been a double feed. I'll tell you for sure that the cartridges did not extract. Can you take a look at it?" Sure, why not? So I put dummy rounds in it. And in addition to that, I cycled different magazines. And every one of the magazines, I was having difficulty extracting a cartridge each time. So it would extract, it would stop, it would stop, it would extract in an inconsistent manner. All three magazines. So then I throw the Glock 47 magazine in a Glock 19. And again, the same issue. So I did an extraction test where I put the cartridge, the dummy round actually. And I guess the argument is, well, you should use real brass casings, real ammo. I was not at the range. And if I can replicate what happened with a dummy round that's fairly brand new, that's of pretty good quality, it wouldn't make a difference. So I was able to replicate the same problem with the live cart. I'm sorry, with someone who had a live cartridge, and then I had the dummy cartridge. I did the extractor test where I take out the slide, I stick the cartridge right on the extractor claw, shake it like this, didn't fall out, so I know that I have appropriate tension. And then because it's an MOS model and I mounted the RMR HD, sorry guys for the tech talk. I'll try not to sound too technical. I thought that maybe I used a longer screw than I should. And I screwed in a screw, and it is probably touching one of the plungers. Well, there's only one plunger. So I thought that might be a possibility because with my Glock 22 cal Gen 3, 40 caliber model 22, I had the slide milled for a red dot. They drilled into the chamber, where the chamber, where the plunger functions, and the screw was too long and ended up grabbing the plunger every time. So I had failure to extract issues, double feed issues as well. So I looked and I noticed that with the new models, the Glock 47 and then the Glock 45 MOS models and even the Glock 19, the two holes that are part of the mounting system, the MOS mounting system of Glock, they do not enter the chamber where the plunger is used at all. So the issue of a long screw was not a problem. So what I did after that, and again, I'll post it to my Instagram stories so you guys can see the video. I'm under the firearms trainer. Give me a couple hours. I'll post it there tonight. So what I ended up doing was basically changing the extractor. I got the Glock 47 extractor, and then I put it. And you're talking about the plunger, got the whole extract system. I just changed it all out. I'm not taking any risk at all. And then I installed it from the Glock 47, put that on the side because I can't use the Glock 47 until I have a replacement. And I give this officer a box of ammunition, total of 100 rounds of Winchester 115 grain. I said, here you go. Go ahead and go to the range and let me know if you have any other issues. If you have any issues, please video record if you can, or please take a photograph. So guys, what I'm trying to say is, just because you have a Glock, that doesn't mean it's not going to malfunction. This is the second time that I had a Glock in my custody that malfunctioned. When I bought my Glock 22 40 caliber, the first rounds that I had fired, the slide just froze up on me. Like, constantly it froze up. It wasn't until I kept rocking the slide back and forth and then realizing that there are some, there's some heavy grease contents when you barely get these guns from the manufacturer. It wasn't until I kept continuing to cycle manually the slide back and forth that I realized that maybe it just knew, and that there's some grease or some glue compounds or something that was preventing the free flow of the slide, or something that was preventing the mechanism from racking back and forth. Okay, but the Glock that I had is the second one. Yeah, and yes, that's out of dozens and dozens that I handled before. But guys, just because you have a Glock, that doesn't mean that you don't need to test fire it. Like, you might buy it from the store, and then that'll be your carry gun, off-duty carry, concealed carry gun. That might be like a duty gun, and you might just put it to use that day. No, don't do that. First, see if that gun will cycle. Preferably, you want to cycle with target ammunition, and then you want to cycle with your carry gun. Your carry ammunition. What does it work with? What does it not work with? Okay, see if it cycles, and see if it fires. I issued myself a Glock 47-45 because I'm the department armorer for my employer. But I use a Staccato P, the Duo. And then I alternate between the C2 model, but that's my choice. Occasionally I will probably transition back to the 45-47 because that's my employer's primary duty gun, and even the Glock 19 MOS, just so that I understand the mechanics of it, and I understand the biomechanics when I put these guns to use. Okay, so that's all I got. I'm looking forward to you guys' dialogue. Do you have a Glock? Has it malfunction on you? If so, what was the issue? Now, usually when a gun malfunctions on you, the first issue that we want to look at is potentially the ammunition. Second issue is the actual magazine. And then after that, you want to start looking at the extractor. That's what you usually do. So I want to hear from you guys. Have you ever had any problems with Glock any other firearm. I don't know, maybe you're rocking a CZ instead, Smith and Wesson, one of the Shadow Systems handguns, just something else. Maybe even Staccato. Maybe you had problems. When I first got my Staccato P, the original one I had problems. I had problems with the gun cycling, and then I realized that it was during the year 2020 in August, and I was actually, I hate to say this, but I was actually one of the pioneers, not the pioneers, but probably the first 1,000 of officers that put a Staccato to use with a red dot. They had just barely came out, like, I want to say like 6 months or maybe 8 months. I don't remember the exact date, but I think it was less than a year. And I put it to use, and I was constantly having malfunctions. Well, it was because it was during one of the ammunition shortage times, and I realized that I was shooting bad ammunition. It had nothing to do with the magazines, nothing to do with tuning the extractor, because I tried that too. It was just bad ammunition. Let me just go through the comments real quick, because there are a lot of people who were watching this one. At one point, we had like 70-something people watching. Don't want to leave you guys out. Sender Boys says, do you recommend smaller Glocks like the Glock 43X? I have experience with the Glock 42. I think it was a Glock 43X. And the issue was the officer had the plastic sights on, and he kept shooting to the right, like way too far. Maybe to the left. I put on my Instagram stories or Instagram post. And what ended up happening was the rear sight was like knocked out of place. It was like totally off. But otherwise, I don't see any issues. Now, the Glock 43 would be one of your slimline pistols that Glock has. I don't have a lot of experience because I don't have them, but I've seen them on the range. I qualified individuals many times on the slimline, like the Glock 42, the Glock 43 models, and I don't see any issues at all. Yeah, they're affordable. Yes, Senator Boys. Brian says Glock 34, CZ Shadow, or 2011 for comp. Are you talking about for competition? I'm not a Glock fanboy. I don't want to put anybody down by that language, but I love my 2011. I mean, I got two of them. I got the Staccato P and the C2. I love single action triggers. Honestly, I never fired a CZ Shadow. I heard some great things. I don't know. I'm caught between those two guns. And Linda says, I like the CZ7501. Nice. Slender. Hey, Slender's here. Only time I've seen Glocks jam is when you limp wrist or don't grip them right. Yep. Mine hasn't had a jam since I learned to properly grip it, and this is coming from a non-Glock guy. Yep. I agree. Guys, stop calling it jam. Jam is what you put on toast. Gunsight, Arizona, Gunsight Academy, Arizona. I took the Pistol 250 course and the instructor development course. That's where modern gunfighting was developed, was at Gunsight, right in Arizona, Paulden, Arizona. They refer to the malfunctions that I'm referring to as stoppages. I mean, I should actually call them a stoppage, but a lot of people don't call it stoppage. Malfunction is something that requires work that's past like a field strip. So if you got to start bringing out armor tools, you probably have a malfunction. So they dinged us if we kept using the word jam, for sure. And then if we use malfunction in the inappropriate context, then again we get jammed up. Brian says, you use your red dot on your duty pistol? Yes. I use the Loophole Delta Point Pro. That's mounted on my Staccato P, which is a 2011 model, and my Staccato C2, which I've been using on duty for 8 months so far. But yes, I use the red dot, and I love it. I'm able to see what the person is doing, what the aggressive person is doing. I get to target focus on his hands, see where they are in relation to his waistband, instead of looking over my front sight. Many times your front sight will block what the person is doing, but the red dot, you just superimpose it. Brian says, how many officers in your department use optics? So far, it's just 2. It's me and another guy that's rocking a staccato. Nobody else has any duty authorized optics. I'm going to be giving my department the California Post red dot transition course. So after they do that, I'm going to authorize them to carry red dots, and that's going to be an 8-hour course. So that's a good question. And I work at a small agency that only has 21. Well, I'm not going to mention the numbers because then I don't give up my employer identity. If you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, you can see where I work. But my department, we're in the 20s. And Brian says it's like cheating. It is, because look, when there is a situation that you got that requires a gun solution, right? If you have an iron-sighted pistol, there's 3 sight pictures, or there's 3 planes. There's the front sight, there's the rear sight, and then there's the actual target. That's 3 planes. With a red dot sight, there's only one focal plane. That focal plane is a red dot superimposed on this person. And it's so neat that you can actually concentrate on that person's activity. And in a way, I think it will prevent a lot of officer-involved shootings. Because the question of, I'm not sure what they're doing, or is that a weapon or not, that room of doubt can be eliminated, because the officer can better see what that person's doing with their hands and what kind of object they have, because they're not fumbling around with 3 different sight pictures. And I know that many of you taught front sight focus. Okay, that still puts you on a 2 focal plane system. So yeah, that's all I got. It helps you with situational awareness. All right, guys, so I'm out of here. If you guys have any questions, concerns, let me know. I do have a lot of time behind the dot. Again, I think I remember the date that I put into service. I think it was August of 2020. And I was one of the first group, again, out of hundreds in California, that went through the red dot and the California Post red dot instructor course. At the time, there's only like 2 vendors, guys, in the whole entire state, and now there's 11. I just got certified by California Post to put on a red dot instructor class. This is a train the trainer class. And I'm only one of 11 in the whole state of California. So I'm telling you, I have a significant time behind the dot, practical experiences and experiences with different optics. I have a lot to learn. I don't put myself out there as an expert, as somebody who's an expert at red dots. I'm not an expert. I just have a lot of practical use and a lot of time behind the gun. All right, guys. So I'm out of here. Looking forward to dialogue. Take care.